Is it still worth getting Tinder Gold in 2020? I'll give you the short answer right now. That depends. Contrary to popular belief, Tinder Gold isn't an outright ripoff. However, for a lot of guys, there are a number of circumstances which prevent them from being able to capitalize on any of Tinder Gold's features. And that means that many men, maybe as many as 70 or 80% of the guys who buy Tinder Gold, end up getting nothing, no benefit whatsoever, and wasting the money that they've spent. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you not just under what circumstances you should definitely avoid getting Tinder Gold, but more importantly, under what circumstances you should seriously consider using Tinder Gold and what kind of tricks you can use to get Tinder Gold to work hard for you. So, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about this, keep watching. To get things rolling, I want to look at the conditions in which you should definitely not be getting Tinder Gold, because I know this is the massive frustration point for a lot of guys, and I want to answer this for you right off the bat. So, when you first start your Tinder profile, in other words, day number 1, when you've just created a brand new Tinder profile, if within that first 24-hour period you can't get over 20 likes, in other words, not matches, but when you can see how many women like you or have liked you, if you can't get that number over 20 in the first 24 hours, you should definitely avoid Tinder Gold. You see, Tinder Gold does give you an advantage. They're not lying. But what it does is it just exposes you to a larger number of women per day. So think about Tinder again. Think all kinds of online dating is really just online advertising. You have an advertisement. The advertisement is your photo and your bio. Now, you got to imagine that I'm trying a brand new advertisement on Facebook ads for my company, School of Attraction. And I spend $100 to test this new ad campaign that I've never tested before. And I get barely anyone clicking on my ad. Does it now make sense for me to spend $1,000 a day on this ad to get 10 times as many people per day seeing the ad? The answer is no, because a small test has shown me that barely anyone wants to click on my ad. It's not a desirable ad right now. It's not an ad. The ad isn't working for people, so it's not worth it. And this is really where a lot of guys get stuck. They say, I'm not getting matches now. Maybe I'll buy Tinder Gold and then I'll get some matches, because Tinder Gold's marketing, I don't like the way Tinder Gold markets. Tinder advertisers market Tinder Gold. I think it's a little misleading. They say you can get way more matches, all this kind of stuff. And it doesn't happen for lots of guys, even though it does indeed expose them to a lot more women. The ad, your profile right now isn't converting. The good news is that a lot of you can convert. Like I've often said, I've done a lot of videos in the past, I'll talk more at the end, about how if you're average or above average looking, so anywhere from average up, you can actually create a profile that will get you plenty of matches. But yeah, it's hard. It takes some work and it takes a little know-how to get there. And if you're not getting there right now, Tinder Gold isn't going to get you over that mark. So that's number 1. Number 2 reason why you would avoid Tinder Gold, even if you're getting over 20 likes in the first day. If you live in a city that's smaller than 150,000 people, and there's no larger cities within a good sized radius around you. So if you're living in a relatively, in a smaller city, let's say 100,000 people, and there's nothing nearby, why not? Why isn't this going to work? Because you're already going to reach the maximum number of female Tinder users in a relatively small amount of time. And because again, your town is 100,000 people, meaning 50,000 of those are women, but meaning that only about 10,000 of those happen to be single at any given time, meaning 7,000 of those are in your age range or in a realistic age range for you, meaning about 2,000 of those are going to go on online dating. At any point in time, you get it. The number gets lower and lower and lower, and before you know it, at any given time for a city about the size of 100,000 people, you're looking at about 1,000 women on Tinder in that city, roughly. Obviously, it's going to change from country to country, culture to culture, but that's kind of what you're looking at. You're going to burn through those quickly. And so, yeah, if you're buying Tinder Gold, it's wasted because Tinder can't expose you to more women in your area if there aren't more women in your area. So that, again, will be money very quickly wasted. Now, for Tinder Gold, it isn't all doom and gloom. There certainly are some situations in which Tinder Gold is super useful. I use Tinder Gold. A lot of my clients use Tinder Gold after I help them create a really fantastic profile that actually converts. They get it. And here's why they get it. First of all, yes, if you are already getting a decent number of likes, getting a larger exposure to more women means you're going to get more likes per day, means you're going to get a larger selection of women. It also means that When you have Tinder Gold, the more attractive women get to see your profile. So you kind of get a bit of a door into the highest ranked female profiles that is harder to get when you don't have a paid account. So that's one of the things that Tinder Gold gets you. So if you've got a profile that can start converting, you'll get access to the more attractive women. For the rest, often those women won't even see your profile because they'll never get shown them. So that's a really big one, And so yes, then Tinder Gold is definitely worth it. The second thing is if you are in a city that's small, or a town even that's small, like 50,000, 25,000 people, but you're not far away, say 15, 20 kilometers from a really big city. In these circumstances, Tinder Gold is super useful as well. I'll tell you why. See, if you live in a small town, there's very few women who live around where you live right now, right? And therefore, you can only match with a very narrow range of women, and it'll get flooded really quickly, and it'll be hard to get any new matches very quickly. However, you can increase your search radius, but here's the problem. Women who live in big cities don't want to have to necessarily, they don't want to search, or they don't need to expand their search radius to guys 25 kilometers away who happen to live in your little town because they already live in a big city. So what happens is you'll see them and you can swipe on them. They won't see you, so they'll never get to swipe back on you. So you're kind of wasting a bunch of time and swipes, feeling like a loser who's not getting any matches, which is actually the women just aren't seeing you in the first place. However, with Tinder Gold, what you can do is you can change your location. So what I always recommend guys do is on Tinder Gold, change your location to the big city near you and then hide your distance from women. So then what will happen is those women will get to see you, you'll be placed in a much larger city, and you now won't have to worry about flooding your existing Tinder pool because you'll be able to fish from a much larger pool of women. So that's a really fantastic feature that guys in smaller towns can use that only Tinder Gold can offer. Another really useful trick with Tinder Gold is guys who are 3 to 4 years over an age cutoff point. So what's an age cutoff point? Well, when women typically use Tinder, what they do is they set their age range and they set arbitrary maximum minimum age points, right? So women will hop onto Tinder and let's say a 24-year-old woman will say, I don't want to date a guy, or well, let's say I'll just match guys up to 30. Now, in real world, if that woman met a guy who was 32, 33 at a bar or club, and he was like all the things she wanted in a guy, she'd say yes. Most of those women would have absolutely no qualms. But on Tinder, what happens is she sets an arbitrary cutoff point. The same happens at the age of 40, so 42, 43. Those guys, again, lose out on a lot of opportunities because women 31, 32, 33 will say, I'll date guys up to 40, I guess. 40 is a good arbitrary cutoff point. Even though if she met a guy who was 42, 43 in a bar or club, or out at a house party, and he was a great catch, she'd go for him in an instant, wouldn't care about the age. So this is what I say is really, really handy. Will get you a lot more matches is to change your age to say 38, 39 if you're 41, 42, 43, or if you're 31, 32, 33, change your age to 28, 29. Change your age and then hide your age. So what that means is those women will get to see you and you'll get far more likelihood of getting matched with those women. And then your age is hidden, and therefore, basically, you don't have to lie about your age. When they do ask you how old you are, you can tell them the truth. And very few of them, first of all, very few women ever go, wait up, my cutoff point was 30. Very few women will do that. Don't do it if you're like 8 years older than what their cutoff point would have been. I'm talking 2-3 years, right? You give yourself a bit of leeway. That almost always works really well. Women are totally fine with it. So that's a strategy that can be super useful. Another strategy that is really powerful with Tinder Gold is changing your location if you're going to travel a lot. So if you're going to go on a holiday, and this is what I always say to guys, if you're about to go on a holiday, you're spending thousands of dollars on plane tickets, on hotels, bills, and all this kind of stuff, it is definitely worth it to invest in Tinder Gold. Why? Because what you can do is, well, first of all, you know how when you first start a Tinder, you got a Tinder boost? Well, you get a Tinder boost every time you're in a new city. Every time you're in a new location, you get a brand new Tinder boost in that new location, something a lot of guys don't realize. So what I highly suggest guys do is a week before you're going to travel to a new location, change your Tinder location to that new location. So what you do is you get this massive Tinder boost. You have time to build rapport with these women and then line up dates before you even land in the new city. And then you do that again. So you're in that city, you're about to go somewhere else, because usually when we travel, we go to lots of different cities. Change your location a week beforehand. Change your location a week beforehand. So you're always lining up dates in your new city before you arrive. And I found this to be, it's a really, really handy feature. And again, if you use this, remember to hide your distance so they can't tell you that you're not in that city yet. But yeah, that's one of the ways that I found that traveling, Tinder Gold, are really fantastic partners. And again, you're spending heaps of money anyway. Why not capitalize on that with some of those Tinder Gold features? The last really big use case scenario and reason why you should seriously consider getting Tinder Gold is if you plan on using boosts a lot. Now, I personally don't use a lot of Tinder boosts. So if you're not sure what is a Tinder boost basically takes your profile and makes you one of the first profiles every woman will see in your area for the next hour, depending on what kind of boost you're using, super boost, and then you got the super ultra boost. But, let's say for half an hour to an hour, whichever kind of boost you use, puts you towards right at the top of the list. That means that almost every woman online right at that point in time is going to see you. Massive exposure for a short amount of time. Guys sometimes use this when traveling in a new city. Guys sometimes use this if they don't want to renew their profile because they're talking to lots of women, but they want to get a boost in exposure for a short period of time. Maybe if you haven't used Tinder in a couple of weeks and you know there's going to be a lot of new women, use a Tinder boost. So Tinder boost can have a lot of usefulness if you use it right. A lot of guys just abuse it and it's not really of any use. I talk about that in other videos, but basically if you're going to use Tinder boosts semi-regularly, I highly recommend using Tinder Gold because it's super useful to know who's matched with you. So if you're using those boosts, you don't want to, what'll happen is if you're just swiping, that's fine. But I often find with Tinder Boost that a lot of women match with me or seem to match with me long after the boost is finished. And so what I'll find is women match with me who I haven't swiped right on yet because of the boost, but the match doesn't take place until days after the boost is finished. I'm not sure why this is. I don't have a good reason for it, but I see this happen a lot. And so if you've got Tinder Gold, you can then go and see all those women because, you'll get a massive amount of matches in that first during the boost. But then over the next few hours, you'll get some more. And so you get to see those new boosts, those new matches come in. And that's why Tinder Gold pairs up well with boosts. But again, don't use boosts either if you don't have a profile that already can get some conversions. Again, think like a marketer. Why spend money on an advertisement that isn't getting matches in the first place, isn't getting clicks? So yeah, that's the last use case scenario for Tinder Gold. So as you can see, I imagine a number of you watching are thinking, well, great, so I shouldn't get Tinder Gold because I'm not getting the matches. But as I said earlier on, if you have an average to above average, if your looks just as a guy is about average or above, you can create a profile that will get matches. You need to work on it. You need to create a really great looking profile, but you can do it. Now, I've got a course that shows you how to do that online, and during the COVID period, it's still on right now. I know it's starting to ease up around the world, but we're still offering this incredible deal. Basically, it works like this. If you want to do my School of Online Dating course, which is going to show you everything to do with building profiles, getting matches, getting dates, generating incredible conversation, getting women to respond, how to take photos, all this stuff that's really important for online dating. If you do this course, if you sign up today in the next 2 weeks from when this video is published, and you finish the program within a month of starting, you have the opportunity to request all of your money back. So there's no requirement other than you finish the course. I'm not talking about only satisfaction back guarantee. I'm saying that if you finish the course within a month, you will get an email that says, hey, would you like all your money back? Would you like some of your money back and let us keep a little bit? You'll get the option to do any of those things dependent only on you having completed the course, not about your satisfaction. You could love the course, get a huge amount out of it, and you can still ask for all your money back. I'm doing this because I know a lot of guys are struggling right now. And I want to help you out as much as possible. So if you want to take advantage of this, I highly recommend you click the link up here and get on board and start the School of Online Dating straight away. By the way, also, I will give you personal feedback only for our paid members on the Facebook group. We've got a private Facebook group where guys put up their profiles, they put up their conversations with women and I and other coaches and other guys, and they give feedback every single day. So if you'd like to get some of that personal feedback from me as well, I highly recommend you sign up right now. For the rest, guys, how have your Tinder Gold experiences been? I'd love to hear some of your horror stories. I know there are a lot of them out there. I'd like to hear some of your success stories as well. Any of you using Tinder Gold to really great effect? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. As always, if you've liked this video, please give me a big thumbs up. Every thumbs up helps. Subscribe to my channel, and of course, check out some of my other videos off to the side. I reckon if you like this one, you'll probably think they're pretty funky as well. As always, take care, have a safe week, and I'll see you in my next video.